Hello and good morning and good day and whatever point in your week you're watching this video. I have a question for you. What are you noticing are the either front door or back door ways that believing that you don't need what you need right now are showing up with your food and then of course in other places of your life? So if you don't know me, my name's Tracy Brown. I'm a somatic nutrition therapist and attuned eating expert. Let's answer that question today. What happens when you don't get your food needs met? Let's just be really specific about food. As you all know, I do a lot of metaphor and symbolic decoding work and all that kind of stuff. And it's what we're doing with our food is often happening in our life as well. So, and sometimes the way we see life impacts our food. Let's answer those questions. So what happens when you don't get your food needs met? Some pretty simple stuff. Biologically, when you don't get your food needs met, you just get a lot more obsessive and you will have cellular, it's not like I can say that your cells are anxious, but your body perceives a threat. So you're automatically going to be in a little bit more, maybe not the first time you ever restrict your food, but as the months and the years go by, if you're on and off diets or you're chronically restricting or over-exercising, the body is going to be in this tense, anticipatory, what's going to happen next kind of state. And that will create a cascade of emotions. That's going to create some deflation of like, what's wrong with me? What's the point? I don't deserve. Those things usually precede the desire to want to restrict, but it's like this vicious cycle. So one of the most important things, and this is where I'm providing the can-do for you, is if you're feeling like I shouldn't get my needs met, it's too much, well, you might have some food needs right now that feel like a lot, but they actually are just meeting the need of either all the past suppression. So maybe it's not too much for the big picture of the situation, and or we're just not used to like actually getting our needs met, and it can feel like all kinds of badness is happening, but maybe it isn't. So good morning to everybody who's watching live. I really appreciate you. So step number one, if you're feeling like your needs are too much, is challenge, well, too much for what? And what's going to happen? And what's the big picture here of, how much depletion I've had, whether that's with food or elsewise. You're going to have to let the pendulum swing a bit to get back to equilibrium. That's just the reality of the science of the situation. So from the end of the spectrum, let's say that you're feeling like, my food needs are close. They're 80% there, they're 90% there, but I always kind of hold back a little bit. I understand that. And the thing that you could think about is, what do I get out of holding back that last couple bites? Is it really providing me what I think it is, or is it just some kind of mental thing that, like, if I had one more comfort tool instead, like if I made my nest, like everybody in my peaceful eating group knows that, like, they come to the meetings, they go to the meals, like making your nest to feel like there's something here for me as I eat, and you're creating a new neural pathway of eating equals being seen, being heard. There's nothing's hurting me, and there's something here for me. And so we really work hard on that there, and this is both the case with my individual clients as well. But we're really working hard to bring the body as a resource into helping our bodies, and then therefore our hearts and our minds know that, like, these needs aren't too much. There's other stuff that maybe feels like a lot, but that's not the same thing as our food needs, and evidenced by our histories, what our brains feel like when we've had enough, whether that's food or the kinds of foods. So if you're limiting variety and kinds of foods, know that you probably do have a history of feeling like, I need to have a familiar box to be in, and I need to know where I can hide, basically, and I can hide in these 4 little walls of food choices. So that may be something happening for you, and I really encourage you to, like, let your body be the one that lets you know if something works or not those 4 walls. And so lastly, if you're feeling like, gosh, Like, I don't struggle with restriction. It's really about the moment I feel like my needs are too much. I just kind of want to eat. Question that, like, a need in general is too much. You know, sometimes we have this idea, and I know I did too, of like, I would just get frustrated and kind of mad, and it would be like a self-punishing kind of thing of like, having a need to be seen and heard, or wanting a hug would make me mad and make me binge, because I didn't want to have needs. I wanted to be really self-reliant, because, you know, it's just one of those character strategies of, if I don't have needs, I can't get hurt. And oftentimes that can trigger eating. And the reality of the situation is we're all human, and especially right now, our humanness is showing that, like, uncertainty is hard for all humans. And sometimes the only thing we can do day by day is go hour by hour of like, what does a need this hour? And really grow this great palette of understanding, like, every hour we do need something different. It's not always the same. We don't infinitely gain weight by just eating what we need, or even doing some emotional eating. That's just not how the body wants to work. But our brains do that because it doesn't know what's going to happen. You know, it assumes the worst, essentially. And we assume the worst because of usually our backgrounds. And it's starting to, like, look more forward to orienting to the good of noticing your needs hour by hour, and bringing some compassion to, like, oh yeah, of course, humans have needs. Like, literally every mitochondria is asking us collectively to do something for us. Fuel, rest, respiration, liver's doing its job of getting rid of stuff from our environment that we inhale or eat or drink or see or whatever, and all our body processes. And, you know, it's taking it, separating out the good, getting rid of the stuff we don't need out the system. And so, could we trust that? Can we trust that those needs, you know, something around all those things has our back? So, I hope this video is helpful, and know that maybe your reach is to shut down, to overwork, to say, what, heck with it, what's the point? I understand those strategies, but it's like, what do those have to teach you about how you could separate those from the physiologic and the pleasure of, as a human, we have needs and it feels good to get them met, and that's not dangerous inherently. Now, it might feel that way, but inherently it's not. So if we could separate out the now of getting needs met from body memory of getting needs met, then we're right on track. All right, well, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you felt it was nourishing for you, please let other people know about it, because there's not enough tools out there right now. Honestly, it's like we just need to hear this stuff every single day to help us stay on track. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye for now.